Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of A Spiritual Remedy. My name is Sunshine Day, and I am your spiritual living coach. And how good it is to greet you in this month of December, where we've been talking this month about celebrate life. I see a world where clean and sober people, where people in recovery are living their best life and loving it. And what I get an opportunity to do is to provide spiritual tools and loving support for your personal transformation. And I say this all the time is that you do not need to be in recovery to benefit from a spiritual remedy. It is indeed participating in your life in such a way that you're living your best life. And so many times we're not even aware that we're addicted to certain things like stress and drama and fear and anxiety and depression. Nevertheless, we are always so aware of when people have alcoholism or addiction or food addiction or sex or gambling and things like that. But I believe that a spiritual remedy has its solution for all of us. And that's why I get this opportunity to do this show, and why for this month of December 2021, we are talking about celebrate life. And even though we've lived through this pandemic of COVID-19 with all of its variants, we are here. And so we get an opportunity to take a look at how we celebrate not only the upcoming holidays and the holidays that are just ending, like, Hanukkah and things of that nature, but we get an opportunity to celebrate our own life in our own way. So let's take another look at celebrate and what celebrate means. It's to acknowledge a significant or happy day or event with social gatherings or enjoyable activities. And so it's interesting that as we're approaching the end of the year holiday season and people are celebrating, we get this opportunity to really look at how we want to celebrate, how you want to celebrate, and that your celebration actually supports your recovery, that it supports your life, that it supports your way of living in a healthy fashion. Right? So if you be alcoholic, you don't want to go and open up a bottle of wine to celebrate. You actually want to put yourself in situations and circumstances that are actually going to continue to support your sobriety. If you're someone who's addicted to drama, you may not want to be around all of the drama queens and the people, that are all into the day-to-day drama. You may want to celebrate in a way that actually supports some calm and tranquil ways of living. And so today I want to just answer a couple questions that have come in from viewers just like you, who are always looking for ways to live their most powerful life and their best life. So a viewer asked, how do I stay centered during the holidays? Woo! If we had the answer to that, it would really help us. So here's my response to that. And here's one of the things that I do to help stay centered during the holidays. And that is, I take a look at my calendar. And as I take a look at my calendar, I take a look to see what events and activities I have been invited to, or what activities and events I want to put on myself. So for me, I enjoy the hustle and bustle around me, but I would rather have something kind of quiet and tranquil and enjoyable, for me. So I might put together a small a dinner party, or just have a couple folks over to the house to watch a movie or football or something very, very similar, something low key. And when I do that, I want to invite people that I care about and that I know also care about me. Many people, when I was in the regular 9 to 5, working world, a lot of my jobs would have these holiday parties and things of that nature. And so, absolutely, go. It's a great time to celebrate the accomplishments with your peers. It's a great time to celebrate what the year has brought. But you also want to make sure that you limit your time around, around those activities if they're going to be triggering. If there's, alcohol present and you're sober, or if you're on an eating plan, you want to make sure that you're, indulging in healthy activities. So you might want to eat before you go. So this way you can say no, thank you. Or, you want to be able to set yourself up for success. So you want to be able to talk to people, a lot of folks have folks that they trust or that they're trudging a road with, whether it's a sponsor or a close friend, or, a therapist or a mentor, or someone like me, a spiritual living coach. You may want to call that person up, people that you're accountability partners with, and just kind of go, hey, I'm going to be going to this thing. Just yesterday, I was talking with two of my clients, and the both of them actually became accountability partners for themselves, where they're going to be writing a gratitude list this week. Each day they're just going to jot down 3 things that they're grateful for. And that's another practice of how to stay centered during the holidays. And that is, having a gratitude list and having a list of just jotting down 3 things. I like to say that what you appreciate appreciates, right? So in the activities and in all of the celebrations, if I appreciate my sobriety or my abstinence or my healthy way of being, as I'm writing that down as part of my gratitude list, and as I have this attitude of gratitude, that means that when I actually show up to an event, that I'm not picking up the champagne, that I'm not picking up, a beer or things of that nature, but that because I appreciate the life that I have, that I continue to take steps necessary to maintain my sobriety or abstinence, for those of you who are also watching, your abstinence or your healthy way of being. And sometimes it's not even about food addiction, even. It's just, some folks just want to live a healthy life, and they want to make amazing food choices for themselves. And I know that the holidays, for a lot of my clients and a lot of people that I coach, those holidays are like, oh, I put on an extra 15 pounds over the holidays, and they don't want to do that. So how you stay centered is by purposefully and intentionally planning your time there, eating before you go. Here's another great question, right? Like, I don't live near family. Any suggestions during the holidays? My heart is definitely with those folks who are not close to family. I know the holidays for a lot of folks symbolizes a time where family comes together. And then for some families, it's just like, oh no, I don't even want to be around my family. Well, here's some suggestions. Then that is, prepare yourself to accept and or refuse invitations to different places. But what I'm going to invite you to do, especially this week, because there's still some time before the holidays, and is to just kind of notice who's around you. Who you've noticed. If you have a dog and you walk in your dog, and begin to strike up some conversations with your neighbors and just find out what they're doing for the holidays. connecting with people who you don't normally connect with on a day-to-day basis is actually quite an amazing way to have that human connection that is probably and possibly like right there in front of you that we've been disregarding for so long. You know, that one person who you might just kind of, do the head nod or say good morning to or good evening to when you're going in and out of your home or apartment. Take a moment to stop and to just make that connection. And here's how simple it is. Sometimes it's I was with someone and we were on a walk, and she noticed a guy who she sees on her walks all the time. And this one day she just kind of said, good morning. I noticed and I've been watching you on my walks. And, she just kind of mentioned something that she noticed. I noticed that your older dog was getting slow, but then when you got the newer dog, they started playing together. And, I just thought that was so special. And I watched how much you love your dogs. And it was just that simple connection that connected these two people that will walk and possibly notice each other on the road. But, those are the connections. It's like people notice, you notice, what are you doing for the holidays? Or, are you okay? Do you have family? I think that, making connections with other people that are not necessarily family begins to create families of choice or our neighbors. And we disregard our neighbors so much. And I'm not saying disregard them. We take them for granted, like, oh, they'll always be there, or as just a neighbor. But when we begin to humanize our neighbors and just really begin to make those connections, even if it's just, sitting outside and having a Coca-Cola together, or, an iced tea together during the holidays, you begin to make those human connections. And those human connections are priceless. They are indeed priceless. So I'm hoping that, if you don't have friends and family, if you belong to a 12-step group or a recovery group or a church group or another type of social group, that you'll begin to engage there. Maybe also having those kinds of connections with people you won't normally talk to at work. That begins to at least feed our need for that human connection and that human touch. What I know is that when we put ourselves out there to make that connection, then those connections begin to work for us. And so here's my knowing for you during the holiday season, that during this holiday season, during this time to celebrate, that you take a look and begin to review your life from January all the way to today. And what are those little things that you want to celebrate? And maybe you call someone up and do a Zoom celebration. Maybe you call someone up and invite them, for coffee to celebrate making it through 2021. That you begin to actually look at these little things in life that are worth our celebration. I had a new client give me a call, and she was a referral. And the thing was, she had gotten my phone number like 30 days beforehand, because I got an alert. Oh, I referred so-and-so to you. And, when I got the phone call, I just said to her, I want to acknowledge the courage that it took to make this phone call today, and for us to connect, and to really, allow me to guide you through your process and to be your spiritual living coach. I just want to congratulate you for that, because it took courage. And, she paused and it was almost in tears. Like, thank you for acknowledging that. So here's the thing, is courage is doing something in the face of fear. So you might have fear. The fear is definitely going to be present, but you do it anyway. So you go beyond the fear to do it. And with that in mind, that is something to celebrate, celebrating those small things. I made the phone call today, and really having this activity that signifies this celebration. And so it doesn't have to be the holidays. It doesn't have to be the major things in life. But as you begin to celebrate life this month, look for those small things where in the face of fear, you did it anyway, that you had the courage to change the things you could, that you had the courage to make the phone call, the courage to show up, the courage to treat yourself as a person of love and dignity and honor and respect. You deserve that. And as you take a look at 2022 coming up in the next few weeks, what are your intentions? What are your intentions? In the next couple of weeks, I'll be talking about setting intentions and about being your spiritual living coach for 2022 as you begin to really make some strides and efforts so that this way you can take each day as a celebration, and that we don't have to wait for a holiday to celebrate life, but that life is being celebrated every day. Every day there's something worth celebrating. And so I hope that our show today has been of an encouragement to you. Know that I am here to support you and to love you through your process, and that I am here to be your spiritual living coach. So please feel free to call upon me. Until next week, have an amazing, amazing week. And I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Bye for now. Celebrate.